as you snap off the lock and pull away from it, having the strange physical interaction in the darkness around here, Trinket kind of behind you, just kind of breathing over your shoulder, keeping close to you just in case anything goes wrong. She kind of pulls her hands away.
Fine. Do as you wish. Leave me to rot.
Oh, we'll be back. Don't worry.
She backs up and sits in the far corner of the prison room, the cell, and...
I look around. Has everybody else left me, then?
The only people that are in the light.
Yeah.
Alright, then I follow to where everybody else is going.
Alright.
And she only saw me and
Me.
you.
And
me.
Scanlan.
And Scanlan, yeah, you all
Yeah.
stepped out into the light. The rest of you kind of stayed in the shadows around.
Okay.
Alright, so there are the rest of the cells which Vax has gone through and taken some time to inspect, where you found what appear to be the remnants of individuals who were imprisoned here and then left to die, long rotted, their corpses picked apart by various resident rodents and other creatures. After doing your passes, this conversation has happened. You see no other signs of life down here, this being the sole prisoner currently within the cells below.
I go and I find, Scanlan.
Oi.
So, question.
Yes.
When you cast seeming on us,
Yes.
our visual... You can't... If you made me look like a cow, would I seem like a cow when I bumped into you, or would I seem like a human
Are
bumping
you
into
asking me to make you into a cow right
No,
now?
I'm saying that if something was different...
Because I think this is not the right time.
I think that old woman was doing something weird.
Why do you think that?
Because she looked like she had full handses, but
4 hands?
full,
Oh, full hands.
normal sort of hands. But I didn't feel them.
You didn't feel them. You touched her hand and it just
Her
passed
hand
right
touched
through
me,
it.
but it didn't.
That's an illusion of some sort. Yes.
So she was doing some sort of...
I don't know what, but yes. So if I were to cast seeming on us or some other sort of magic, it would make us look one way but not feel that way.
I guess it's good that we left her then.
She's doing. She's a caster of some sort?
I don't know.
Can you dispel seeming?
Should we go find out?
I don't know.
How would we do that?
Huh?
How would we
Can
do
you
that?
dispel seeming?
I don't know. Let's go find
Do you have
out.
a dispel magic
No,
on you right now?
I have no.
Oh my god, I do!
Well.
Oh, I learned it!
Oh, Keyleth!
Hey, Keyleth.
That prisoner over there is casting magic of some
Yeah,
sort.
I
I
don't
think she
like
had
her.
seeming cast on her. I don't know if she did it herself or if... Well, but I don't think she was what she
We want
appeared
to
to be.
waste power on somebody who's...
What if she's
An
a
early
sentinel?
warning system.
Yeah. What if she's a guard and
What
look
if
out
she's Lady Briarwood, like what we were saying?
Well,
That's what I'm most afraid of.
Well, then we should find out now and kill the shit out of her.
I vote for
Well, before we do that, let's see who she is.
So you can do dispel
Take a
magic on her.
I learned it.
Stay
I
in the
did.
shadows, Keyleth, and cast it on her.
that. Percy, you're wearing what?
I'm wearing a hat of disguise so that I'm not immediately identifiable.
Where are you guys thinking about going?
New Jersey.
I have the exact same glasses.
Wow, you two are practically twins.
Yeah.
Just as a reasonable Whitestone peasant.
Okay.
Trying to blend in.
Terrible.
By comparison to this troop, you look like some poor sap who got pulled along. But yeah, you are their you're the one quest giver in Warcraft that walks way too slow, and the party's like, "Come on, move!" That's who you look like, right?
So before we dispel magic on her, should we have someone put her in their sights in case she gets a little funky monkey? with
She
the
will be
trials?
able to feel it.
We could also just ask her to drop it that we see that she's...
We asked her who she was. She lied a lot.
Well, we could ask her to drop the seeming, though.
She lied pretty well, too.
She did.
I could go talk to her, and meanwhile she could be fiddling with her magic behind me.
Do it.
You go talk to her, I'll be prepared.
I'll stay in the shadows with my arrow notched at her.
I'll stay with Scanlan in case things
Thank
go
you.
wrong.
Dagger.
Well, no, I'm not saying for you not to, but would I be able to comfortably throw through here, do you think, if I stood? Yeah. Right.
Right, fine.
And I'm not telling you not to.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, she'd have a little bit of cover, but
Shoot your arrow too. Shoot your dagger. Whatever.
Shoot your dagger.
He doesn't shoot daggers.
Passive aggressive much?
All right, so I stroll over back to the cell.
She's kind of sat out into the shadows of the far corner, arms crossed. You can see that she's kind of just kind of hunched in the corner, huffing in frustration.
Oi, old lady. Listen. We said we were going to come back for you and release you when all was said and done. But we cannot make that promise if you don't tell us the complete truth. Now, we know that you're using magic of some sort. Now, tell us who you really are.
I'm sorry, what?
We are smart little people and big people.
Thank you.
And we know, we can sense that you are casting magic of some sort on yourself to disguise yourself. Now, I have some familiarity with this, so I make no judgment as to why, but please reveal your true self to us, or else we cannot trust you, and we will leave you here to rot and possibly die.
Now.
Wait, no, let her try.
That face.
Now I do it now! I don't know!
Now I do it now!
Hopefully quieter than that in the game.
As Keyleth, partially in the shadows, the form of Scanlan, small enough to not really obscure her presence, but she nevertheless, gestures in the air, recites beneath her words the forbidden druidic languages that, coalesce the powers of nature around. At which point, there's a dull flash of energy within the cell. Some of the nearby straw on the ground kind of just gets blown away from her form from just the general push of air that the spell kind of disperses in the impact.
Sorry, got a little squirrely on that one.
The gray hair, the tattered clothes all vanish, revealing beneath it a woman in her early mid-40s or so, jet black hair, pulled into a tight ponytail, but strings of it kind of in front of her face. Still in kind of disarray, but nowhere near as wrecked as the previous visage you were presented with. She's wearing nice travel clothes with what looks like some sort of a long duster, almost like coat that is a little ragged. You can see there's a little stain from just probably being down here for a while. And as soon as this moment hits, she pushes back even further, kind of pressing herself against the wall, arms to the side.
There you are.
I must say, you look way better like this.
Happy?
Extremely.
Yes, I'd say so.
Yes. So who are you for real?
My name is Anna.
And I would like to be set free, if you don't mind. I can be of assistance to you. I happen to know a lot of information about the people that currently reside within this castle.
How would you know anything about them?
Release me and I'll tell you.
Did I hear you say you were looking for the Briarwoods?
Are you friend or foe?
Foe. Of Delilah and Silas, at least. I can take you to them. If you free me.
Do you want to be set
Tell us
free?
and we'll release you.
Who said that?
You've been so forthright in your interest in helping such an old and frail woman. How can I have any sort of guarantee of my safety should I give you the information you seek?
You can very well slay me in this cell.
That might happen if you're not careful.
What's Percy doing right now? Where's Percy?
Do you recognize it, Percy?
Yes. You very much recognize it.
This is the only freedom I offer you.
Percy, wait!
Surprise, motherfucker!
You do notice, by the way, her right hand is where the sleeve ends. There is no hand there. It is just a missing hand, and there's the left hand is visible.
Anna,
Yes.
let's be frank with each other. You have two options. Either you are going to die in this cell, and I promise you, you will die in this cell, or you're going to convince us why you shouldn't. So I would start talking right now, or I swear, we will not leave this dungeon before you're dead.
You must be curious as to the information I possess.
Not that curious.
She steps into the light and looks to you, this peasant individual making these threats, and seems partially shaken, but keeping her composure in the face of such threats. Says, well, for one thing, I've been here with them for the past 5 years. I helped them re-establish their current social control of this city when they left it a pile of flames and rubble. And their little experiment beneath the castle, I was one of their chief scientific designers. So,
tell us about the experiments beneath the castle.
You'll have to ask Silas or Delilah for that. I don't have all the details of the reasons behind it, other than the process I was brought in to construct. So, I wasn't interested in their zealotry or the whispered dealings, just the challenge behind the construction. I enjoy challenge. Challenge that pays? Well, I enjoy that even more.
It was a simple transaction. They needed an engineer, I needed a patron to fund my experiments.
Question 2. What are you doing down here? Really?
I'm down here because my work is done, and I wish not to linger with an impending battle. I don't choose sides. I merely let them fight while I live another day far, far away. I wouldn't have gotten this far, dealing with the people I've dealt with in the past, if I had chosen to stick around under such circumstances. So, I tried to leave. It appears Anders saw me packing and decided to gain a little favor by turning me in.
You work for the Briarwoods. Why would they imprison you?
Would you believe I had moral objections to their plans? When my job was complete, I thought it was time to leave. They disagreed.
So they threw me down here, told me to wait out the rest of the experiment, at least until the Ziggurat was complete. And so here I am, living amongst rats in a cell for over a week. That's my reward.
How'd you lose that hand?
Experiments can be dangerous sometimes. I dabble with chemicals and alchemical reagents that can be miscalculated, and I paid a price that will be an ever-present reminder until I can find a way to fix it, and there are ways.
Interesting company you keep.
I recall you having more digits last time we saw each other.
Innovation is dangerous, especially when you mix science and magic.
Are you looking for ways to get back at the Briarwoods?
Based on the way they've treated me here, and their possible intent to not even keep up their end of the bargain now that I'm free to walk away, perhaps.
Can you lead us to Cassandra de Rollo?
She kind of turns her head with a curious look. I could, yes. Why do you ask? She looks at you very intently.
That may be what your life is worth.
So, what else do you wish to know? What else do you need to even get me out from behind these bars? Because I'm growing very uncomfortable and cold here in this cellar.
I pull forward. I look her very deeply in the eye. And I say, you should know who your friends are here. Do you know that we're friends? And I'm going to, so I'm casting friends.
Okay.
What?
What?
Good Percy casting friends or Shadow Monster casting friends?
We'll never know.
Percy.
Until
Hard to say.
he and Ripley kill us all.
Just for flavor, there is definitely some creepy happening.
Getting creepy.
Okay.
You've been truthful with us so far, correct? You haven't been fudging around or playing games with us, really, have you?
I have no reason to lie. Worst comes to worst, you kill me where I stand or leave me here to rot. What do I have to gain by lying at this point? Besides, you've already proven you can see through quite a few ruses. Apparently.
You'd be happy to help us find Cassandra de Rollo, wouldn't you?
If it gets me out of here and gets me free to do my own business, then yes. I have to get a few things from my room, but I would be more than happy to be free of this desolate landscape. This whole town is a ruin of misery, and it has no color, has no culture. I've grown bored of it.
You say you're a scientist.
Yes?
Do you use magic?
I have no interest in paltry magics. I'm more of one who embraces the sciences as a means of understanding mystery. My whole purpose here was one giant chemical experiment.
who cast seeming on you.
That is to say, I don't have my tricks.
Anna,
Lying bitch.
Chemical experiment.
you will take us to Cassandra de Rollo. You will tell us what you know about what's in the basement. You will tell us where to find Lord and Lady Briarwood, and you will tell us where to find Professor Anders. And for this, we may let you go.
May. That word may.
I'll let you leave the castle.
And if I agree to these terms, you will release me this moment? Keep me safe until it is time for me to take my leave?
We may chain you to a bear, but yes.
This is a whole... this is Clarota all fucking over again.
You are, at the moment, the luckiest person in Whitestone. Do you know why? So you're at the bottom of my list. I take off the hat.
Never thought you and I would work together.
At the moment, you are the luckiest person in Whitestone. Because you're at the bottom of my list.
Oh, shit!
As the peasant image fades before her, there's an intensity to her eyes, a widening of realization as she steps back instinctually with a gasp. And there is definite fear in her voice and her eyes, but there's an uncontrollable smile on her face, which catches you off guard. Percival.
Hi.
She's a nervous laugher.
Well then, this certainly explains a lot. I have many questions. I found your recent work very fascinating.
I will be happy to give you an up-close and very personal demonstration.
Doctor.
Percy, wait!
Unless, of course, you would rather have conversations about other topics.
Let's start with the other topics. She kind of adjusts her coat, regains her composure, and steps up to the bars expectantly.
Vax?
Come out of the shadows.
Oh god!
Okay.
Are we really letting her out?
Yep, we're
Get a
done.
chain ready.
So you take a moment, you walk up all slick, and
Wait, 1 sec. This never happened.
you have to get down, and you spend the next 30 seconds actually managing to get the pin that she has stuck in there out without actually breaking the spring inside and
Sorry
render
about-
it completely
sorry about that.
useless.
Fucking doors!
It never ends!
About a minute and a half of awkward quiet as the sound of scraping metal and jimmying thieves' tools eventually.
We're still very tough. Don't let this.
And with that, the lock comes loose and the bars open a little bit.
Here's the deal, Anna. You do what we ask. You do not betray us. You do not make our life difficult in any way, and you have my word. My word. That you will leave Whitestone unmolested by us. If I sense the slightest hint, if I have a moment where I think that you might make a run for it,
If we find out you have personalized license plates, you die.
What? No.
If you mismatch blacks, you die.
No.
If you cough without covering your mouth.
Harley, those last three aren't things.
if I have a moment where I think you may cough inappropriately, I would ask you to think about everything you did to me. And I would like you to know that I've learned so much more than what you taught me that day. And I cannot wait to show you. And I will. But not until I find you again.
Understood.
Nice
Well
hand.
Shall we? She steps out of the cell, pushes the bar aside, kind of saunters up past you, steps over, kind of still facing you underneath the torchlight. I'd like to gather my things.
Things? They let you have things in a prison cell?
Well, I don't have them here in the cell. They're in my room.
We have to go to your room?
I would like to.
What if
Tell
it's
us what
heavily
you
guarded?
need, and we'll get it for you, dear.
Very well. Come.
Right.
And she begins to step up the stairway that leads out of the dungeon. You guys get to the top of the stairs, and there's a closed wooden door there. She comes to the door and kind of listens to it for a second. Opens it up and looks out.
Huh. Empty.
This is a end of a long hallway that leads to a series of doors on the right and left side, and it seems to open into some sort of a central entrance chamber to what would be the castle. And so she steps in. She's not going too far ahead. She's being very conscious that, based on the fact that she has nothing on her and you are very well armed, it would not behoove her to attempt to make a run for it. Looking around, and she's taking her steps slowly, and she's looking around corners as you guys progress, and the doors that are there, everyone's being very quiet, and there's just the very gentle sounds of careful footsteps against the smooth stone floor. And she looks around. She turns around, looking at the rest of you, a little confused, and goes, "Huh. Usually there are a lot more individuals frequenting this castle."
Maybe they've been drawn out by the thing that we incited outside that's been going on for like 45 minutes now?
That's true.
You take a moment and kind of listen around. Silent, still. It's unnerving.
Just as we're walking, I just want to very gently take my gun
And shoot her with it.
and just put it gently at her back, going, "Nothing personal, I'm just feeling a bit nervous."
Understood. She straightens up a little more and continues walking ever so carefully. Not quite, leaning her head or making too many large movements, but definitely still keeping a seemingly nervous eye on how quiet the
I
atmosphere
creep
is.
over to one of the doors. Can I see if the door handle is...
It's open.
I step to the side and push it open.
Push open. The door opens. Everyone before you kind of whips around, hearing the noise and the silence.
Just checking.
Looking inside, it appears to be a long, untouched music room, a space for hosting individuals. Where you would have small performances. There is a small circular window that is placed in the center of the room that has a very, very thick glass pane with crossbar on it that seems to look out. You two coast up to the glass and look out, and you can see the entire city of Whitestone down below this elevated part of topography. Taking a moment, and you kind of pull your brother in to kind of point out where you're looking. The gates to the castle are wide open. There are tracks through the mud that lead down the pathway to the bottom, and right where the path from the castle intersects with the outer wall of Whitestone, there is a fray going on right now. It looks like the remnants of whatever sort of undead army that wasn't destroyed by you guys, combined with what may have been a number of the individuals who normally guard the castle, have all been momentarily distracted by the rebellion you guys have started, and for the time being at least, have left elements of this castle unguarded.
Not a soul crosses that line!
The Dawnfather shall stand as a flame in the darkness. Whitestone is our home, and today, we take it back!
Whitestone!
Assemble.
Okay, maybe I was a little hasty. Yeah, good job, Gerald.
As you guys step into the hallway and you're moving forward, Pike's physical form is kind of drifting along you guys as she takes each step. You can see she's kind of stopped a little bit and she's lost in thought for a moment. And she kind of looks at the rest of you and says, "There is a great evil here." And you can see part of her form kind of flicker and shake and almost blink for a moment, and then she resorts. She goes, "Something's willing me away." And with that, her form just vanishes.
I need to do this quickly before... I saw fighting, lots of fighting. I feel like if we're going to move, we need to do it quickly.
All right.
Yeah, we're on a clock.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Anna, I lower the gun and let her move forward.
She gestures the rest of you to follow. And as you follow up alongside her, you can see the two large front doors that situate the entrance, the main entrance to Whitestone.
Are they open?
No, they are closed.
Okay.
I have 20 caltrops. Can I throw 10 of them in front of the door?
Yeah, if you'd like to. They scatter and cling against the ground, scraping into the stone and eventually coming to a stop loosely around the two doors, which are about 8 feet wide each, so 16 feet of it, so you're scattering about one every foot and a half.
I watched him do that. I kind of shrug, and I reach into my pack and I throw 30 more out.
Oh.
Okay. There is a little more coverage on there, but nevertheless, there is a nice cluster of nasty spiked caltrops now.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Covering the exterior.
Grog, using your noggin.
One a day. One a day.
Is that our thought for the day, then?
Yeah, thought for the day.
Let's get to her room.
Don't sprain yourself. We need you later.
Back.
Ripley starts making her way up the stairs. She continues forward and eventually stops to a door halfway down the hall. Kind of motions to all of you. Do you mind?
What do you want? What's in there?
My belongings?
I want to see what you've been working on.
All right. She opens the door. Most of the room's open space is taken by a long table that's been put here that has a series of alchemical glassware, and you can see what looks to be small containers that contain different materials and powders, and it seems like she does her own work here. There are 2 open drums on the side, and there is kind of this caustic smell to the air. There is a kind of a acerbic tinge to the nose as soon as the room enters. There's just this fresh rust smell to the room. She walks to the far end underneath the desk that contains this alchemical setup. She pulls a small chest out.
I watch very carefully.
She brings the chest to the top. She opens it up, and on the inside you can see just some folded clothing. She moves the clothing off to the side. She pulls out what looks like relatively simple leather armor. May I?
Very, very slowly.
That'd be creepy, Grog.
Creepy? Creepy? I'm gonna put her through the wall. She moves in the wrong way.
Tell you what, I'll hold on to that armor for the time being.
She's like partway into it.
Yeah, you can take it off. We'll put it in the bag of holding. You can put it on after we're done.
She kind of folds the tunic portion of it over the chest piece and hands it to you, pulls out some of the arm braces and leg guards and hands those over as well.
Show me your work.
She goes underneath the chest and she pulls out 2 small glass vials and kind of sets them on the side. She then reaches underneath and pulls up what looks to be a false bottom of the chest. Releases it.
Cute.
At which point she reaches in and pulls out a metallic construction that you all see looks not unlike in shape and purpose as the pepper box that you've seen Percy utilize all this time, though it has only a single barrel and has a small rotating 4-part chamber to it. It's a little more refined than his construction.
I'll need my bag.
Wait. What's this? You've been busy.
And you see a series of notes that are off to the side that have sketches outlined of your pepper box, though not really accurate and almost like they were recalled from various individuals that had seen it in person and given accounts of it. She's been keeping a very close log of eyewitness accounts of your weaponry, apparently, for some time.
She's a fangirl.
Yeah, she is.
Disappointed. I was expecting something more...
Oh, please.
...imaginative.
You've seen my room, have you not? I prefer function.
Hack. Shall we go, then?
And she reaches down and
Keep your hands away and step back.
We'll give those to you when it's time to leave.
How am I to defend myself should things go, and pardon my term, ass up?
Are you planning on fighting with us? Helping us?
You say you won't release me until you finish what you're doing here. I assume that what you're doing here is ending the current reign of those who rule this town. I can't assume that's going to end with a conversation.
Tell you what, we'll take the weapons and give it to you if we need your help.
Let her have the armor. That's a sign of good faith.
Kind.
And give me your ammunition. And when it's time, I will hand some to you.
She gives you the weapon begrudgingly, hands you a pouch about this big that's pretty heavy, containing a series of iron balls inside. She puts her hand out towards you for the armor. She puts it on a little quicker this time because she feels like she had a little victory. She takes a little vial, she puts it in her pocket. She reaches over and grabs a little pouch inside the side with change and kind of puts a little bit of money to the side there.
What are in those vials?
She reaches and pulls one out and shows it to you, and you recognize the color. She goes, "What, do you think it's the only one who doesn't occasionally suffer a wound?" It's a healing potion, a greater healing potion.
One of them is? Or they both are?
No, the one she pulled out and showed you.
What about the other one?
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Really.
Lest your brains leak out your ears.
She pulls out the other one. This is in case things go really poorly, and I need to uphold my sense of self-preservation.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
It allows me to make a fleeting escape on the air as opposed to by foot.
Oh, well then give it to me.
Axe.
And with it, the glass almost shatters with the amount of frustrating force she slams it into your hand.
Careful.
Think about how good you
It's only
feel when you get me to give it back
No
to
need to get testy.
So you have a potion of flying in your inventory right now.
Oh!
And God forbid, you'll see how gracious we're feeling when we find Cassandra DeRollo unhurt.
Yeah, Grog. Grog with the steel.
Ooh, I get a piece of paper.
All right.
Okay, we should
Do you
hurry.
have your shit? Can we get out of here?
Let's get the fuck out of
Yes, everything else here is of no interest to me. She kind of kicks one of the drums on the way out.
Yeah.
And slips back into the hallway. Now, to your sister, is it?
That's next.
She goes straight to Cassandra's room, goes to the door and kind of doesn't touch it yet.
A quick question before I open this door. Am I going to have a violent reaction towards you when I open it?
I certainly hope not.
Good. I motion to everyone, stay back.
Yes.
Open the door, and I push Dr. Ripley into the room with me behind her.
Okay. As you pull the door open, and you push her in, you glance about the room. It's lived in. You can see there's a vanity, mirror cabinet in the far corner. The room is absent of anyone.
Looking for signs of life if the paper on the desk is there.
You search your desk?
Yes.
Make an investigation check.
That's a natural 20.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
You go through her vanity cabinet and you find there's a stack of paper, a series of like partially written notes that are all written to Archibald. They talk about asking about the general unrest in the city, preparation for possible coming rebellion, discussing past failures, but the intent to try again. There's a theme through a lot of these notes that this appears to be one of the methods she was using to communicate in the outside of the castle, and has, her role in previous attempts at freeing the people of Whitestone.
She's not here.
Well, if she's not here, she's somewhere else in the castle, I assume.
Where would she be?
I don't spend my time wondering or curious about her well-being. I just know that she is usually here.
Anna, I'm going to take a leap of faith and believe, contrary to all evidence, that you're a smart woman. I pull out the gun and I put it to her head. Now, if you were the Briarwoods, where would you put my sister?
An important question here, Percy. Are they keeping her, or is she here on her own volition?
I don't know.
I've got a bad feeling.
And if you don't know, make me believe it.
I know she's not allowed anywhere near the Ziggurat, or any of our distillery, so I...
Distillery? I pull the gun away.
She kind of breathes a sigh of relief. That's been largely my project as part of this entire endeavor. Alright, so when I was brought in here, I was tasked to to experiment with design and create large amounts of a very, very delicately prepared acidic compound.
This Ziggurat. You found it for them?
Not just found, restored. Improved. At the Briarwood's request, I was able to augment the structure with a particular mineral.
Residuum.
But to what end is anyone's guess.
One that could dissolve the stone of your Whitestone and distill it down into pure residuum. This would allow the bulk creation of very powerful magical essence for use in construction, in materials that we could instill and use, apparently for the Ziggurat as well as other such things.
The pipes must carry acid for its chemical refinement process.
Looks like they're making a lot of it.
Why so much?
This was Anders' domain. I only helped them with the Ziggurat.
Thus, that was my main reason for being here. We were ahead of schedule, and I completed the bulk of our development weeks ago, and I no longer have much of a purpose here.
So, you're telling me that somewhere in this castle there's a storage facility full of caustic acid that dissolves the very stones of this castle?
Yes.
And would the storage facility be located on these premises?
Yes.
And may I see this storage facility?
No.
May I please see the storage facility, Mr. Payne?
No.
I reach out and I take out my potion of acid resistance and I drink it.
Okay. Mark that. She goes, if you've seen the vents of greenish fume billowing out in the garden, that's where the distillery exhausts to.
We want to assess any possible environmental impact from your operation. For instance, the presence of noxious, possibly hazardous waste chemicals in your basement.
No.
This is interesting.
So what's Ziggurat?
The what?
Oh, the Ziggurat! That thing in the skin book of evil? It all makes sense.
It does?
No, not really.
Hurry up. Time's time
Yeah,
to take
we
it.
gotta go. We gotta fight.
I-
We gotta do things.
I don't know. It has something to do with the Briarwood's interest in some third party, someone they've been working with, someone I've not met, someone who I have no interest in inquiring within, it seems.
A name. Give us a name.
I was not given a name. They don't speak of this individual's name. They're very secretive about it. They paid well, they gave me land, they gave me a title, and when things were done, I was to go free, which is why I was not happy in which the predicament you found me made me.
Where can we find this Ziggurat?
She kind of, her eyes trailed down to the floor. It's like,
Their ritual, whatever it is, it'll happen there. And the Ziggurat is not up. It's down.
the Ziggurat itself is, based on the tunneling structure, the distillery's direction, right beneath the city of Whitestone.
The city or this castle?
City.
They're gonna destroy this fucking city.
Is it underneath the sun tree?
No, not the distillery. Ziggurat might be.
Wait, what?
Oh dear.
We need to finish
Underneath the
clearing this
garden.
house now.
Yes.
I don't know if they're even here.
We better move.
Let's go.
So,
Downstairs.
downstairs.
Oh boy.
You're asking about Anders, though. Do you wish to pay him a visit? You can see a smile on her face.
She's trying to
Not
Percy.
like Anders.
Percy, she's trying to bait you. She's trying to waste time right now. Come on.
Was your sister's keeper?
She's trying to don't list Percy. La 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 la. Percy, come on.
He's
Come
probably
on.
he's probably with the Briarwoods.
Let's go.
Come on, he's not there.
I'm off
If-
sitting in the shadows, but I say, Percival, we need to cut off the head.
Is it
of
possible
this-
that my
the
sister would
head
be
of
with
the
him?
Snake.
It's very possible she's not here.
Anna,
Percy.
Yes.
shut up.
Very well.
Percival.
Percy, it's freezing in this
I only
castle.
say
Let's
because
go.
my whole...
Anna, and I notch an arrow and aim it right at her throat. Shut.
He's not capable of making decisions right now.
Percy.
Where would this professor be?
I imagine his study. It's around the corner.
We'll check his study and then we'll go.
Fucking mouth, no.
Just his study and then we'll go.
Percy.
Even if he's there, if she's not there, we'll leave.
Go, lead the way.
No, no.
We're running out of time.
Brother, run and check the study.
Thank you.
No.
I start running towards the direction that was described.
Let's go towards the under...
He'll
Very
let you
well.
know, he'll let you
Very
know.
well.
Lead the way down.
As you make your way down the hallway, you hear what sounds like a muffled female voice. You glance inside the room, and you can see, kind of in the center to the back of the room, is an older gentleman holding her by her hair with a dagger to her throat, and saying, "Shh."
Very quietly. Say, Jenga. I run at the door and I kick it open and throw at him.
Can I drag Ripley with me?
You can be moving half movement.
So as my bonus action before anything happens,
Knock her out.
Punch her in the
I'm
fucking
going
face.
to tell her she lives. You show us where the entrance to the caverns are. You walk with your things. And run.
Back to you.
So I'm with Anna. Trinket, I tell him to hold on to her and drag her along with us.
Okay.
So he clamps down on her
Step
arm.
1, 2. It's going to attempt to grapple her. Trinket grabs onto the scruff of her coat and begins pushing forward. They both get the rest half of the movement as he's forcing her forward. That's as far as they can get.
But I can keep running.
Ripley is just going to kind of stay put for the time being. She's held by a bear and being pushed along. She's just kind of like, ah. All right, Vex, you're up.
Trinket keeps dragging
Go forward. Go ahead and roll an athletics check for Trinket.
8.
8. Okay. Trinket holding on to the scruff of Ripley's neck. Ripley then tugs away from the grip, reaches into the pouch they had earlier. As a bonus action, throws down a small rock that fills this entire tunnel here with a 20 by 20 fog cloud, apparently. And now that she's disengaged, she's going to run.
She's smoke bombed out.
She runs past. Trinket is currently now. The whole area is obscured for Trinket. Trinket, for the moment, really has no idea really where she went. She rushed past and bit out in there. It's like now giving out this kind of notification growl sound. But in the chaos right now, it's not catching attention as your brother nearly died before you.
Trinket isn't allowed to move at all.
Trinket can if you want.
Can he run after her?
Yep. Rushes out. We'll get there. Rushes through the fog and looks over and sees her right there. Okay, now it's her turn. She goes to a full dash.
Does Trinket get an attack of opportunity?
Trinket gets an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Don't do that! Hate that sash!
So ducks below and just bolts down the hallway and around the corner.
Where's Ripley?
I start running out the hall to Ripley.
I'm gonna sit down and...
Trinket is still running after her, too.
Alright, make a perception check for Trinket.
25.
25, okay. Trinket is giving chase best it can, but is having a hard time fully keeping up at this point unless you're giving full attention towards him at this point in time.
Go!
You're never gonna catch me. You're wasting your time. Forget about it. Go do something else. See you next year.
I grab Scanlan and we're taking off after. And we're yelling now, Ripley! Ripley!
Oh, we should be yelling. We shouldn't yell, Grog.
Fuck that, I yell anyway.
You guys charging off. Trinket's keeping trail by sticking. She's run down the stairway. He is beginning to slowly gain on her. She reaches the front doors, does remember the caltrops, jumps over them, grabs the door, opens it, and rushes out into the daylight. Trinket opens the door and wedges through. I mean, there's a scent out there, but she's nowhere in visible range. She's either darted off the path or possibly off the actual roadsides.
I whistle at Trinket and to get him to stop.
Okay, as you get to the landing, you whistle out, and Trinket is just now pushing through the door, and gets out for a bit, looking back and forth, looks over the shoulder, and runs back to you. It appears that Ripley has scattered into Whitestone somewhere.
You're not leaving.
I'm afraid you overestimate my willingness in this endeavor.
Percy, they'll hear.
Yes, go ahead. shoot me. Until next time.
We are not finished.
We stop.
Okay.
We need to find the Briarwoods.
And like that, he's gone.
Oh, another question for Cassandra. The Duke, Negmeyer, Venkman?
Quagmire.
Vegmeyer. Have you seen him around the castle today or recently?
Yeah, I've only seen him in the castle maybe 3 times since we've been here.
Because Grog, he's a Goliath.
What?
He's a big Goliath. So if he's here, you should just,
How'd you see him?
Oh, when I was a dinosaur and I burned down a house and killed a bunch of people.
It's a series of words that I know individually, but strings them
I
together
fought a
in ways that don't make any
Goliath.
sense.
I wouldn't say fought because I sort of beat him really easily and then I ran away.
Oh, you killed him?
No, I just pushed him off a building and then I thought that was enough for the day, so I went home.
At which point, Cassandra looks over her shoulder at this. It's a shame you're not as tall as your tail, small one.
Well, thank you.
No.
Take that as a compliment.
No.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
No.
So, Cassandra, was it? Seeing as how we're two unattached adults.
No.
I do have one small gripe with the way that they played this scene out. Even though they completely switched it and made Scanlan the romantic aggressor, so to speak, I don't really think that he would have hit on somebody in front of Pike like that. He would have at least had the decency to wait till she was not in the room before he hit on somebody. And with that being said, we draw the Whitestone arc of the Ripley saga to a close. Thanks again to you, dear viewer, for taking the time out and watching this and your continued support of this channel. Feel free to check out any other Critical Role content I have here on this channel, plus other things, such as gaming content. Did I say content? I mean content. That's a little whoopsie, but if you've enjoyed what you've liked so far, please like, comment down below, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. As always, my name is JudgementFish, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.